What's up guys, it's the Devil's Talon here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at how to improve your W keying in solos by analyzing arguably the best player in the world right now, the back-to-back FNCS champion, Tayson. But before I get into this VOD review guys, if you do enjoy my content or find what I'm telling you helpful, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. But without further ado, let's just jump right in. Alright guys, as you can see on the screen, we have Tayson's POV. Of course, W King Arena, you know, most pros are going to be landing Salty Towers. Gets a gray pistol.
Got aim?
Got him. Gets a nice free pickup elimination. There's a lot of kids.
Oh my god.
And some really, really bad aim. Look how many kids are in there. This is super duper scuffed. Really good decision right here. You're going to say he has attack. And so he decides to dip out there, right? It's not smart to take this 50-50. Look at his ammo as well. He goes, I'm dead. Which is never good to accept that you're dead. Right? And so he's going to make a very, very nice recovery. He has no mats. And then just kind of really fortunate to find this pistol there because he has no... He's fully running away. He does find attack. But overall, just good. And then you're going to see, again, taking green charge. I feel like most pros are going to just take rarity. Really good pre-fire with the charge. Gets knocked down to 13. But the opponent he hits earlier comes and pushes him and gets a nice little finish. Again, most pros are taking rarity. So a quick 4 kills, very, very scuffed beginning. But this is how your starts of some of your W key games are going to be. Jeez, I cannot talk. It's a nice pickup on someone who has a Walmart headset. Not looking. Just early W keying. These engagements are going to be much better later on for stuff to really analyze. Playing really tight on the wall. Oh, good attempt at piece control. That ramp was really strange. Really good mechanics. Let's just take a look at that. I think he definitely meant to do that on purpose, but it was more of like a kind of Kylix ramp to make things a little bit awkward. But it was really, really good. I think it caught his opponent off guard when he was really playing up on the wall very tight like that. So he's hugging this wall really tight. Tries to pre-fire and immediately ducks back, blocks through. Now look at this particular, he flips his ramp and places it, and it makes it so awkward, and he gets this back wall. He sprays right through cones, and then he has everything resets, and then beautiful 61 crack. Most of his opponents being super weak with it, you know, just basically landing at Salty Towers is going to be a ton of RNG just because there's a significant amount of players landing there. He catches an opponent that's white as well. Good attempts at piece control, full boxes, and the opponent just gives up. GG's. So quick 7 kills.
Flourish, thank you for the prime. Oh.
Gets tagged for a little bit, but has a little bit better loot. Notice again, taking preference of the charge. Good crack right here.
Epic tack though.
He's got an epic tack, so just good recognize. Immediate double box. Let's talk about this again. One of the big things that you can really do well with charges to maximize your safeness is creating 2 boxes, and you're going to see exactly what he does is he's going to use this 2-box advantage. The opponent is slapping one wall. He's then going to take this wall, create piece control, box, and get a nice crack. Cones right here. Gets the front wall and back wall. So now this opponent is full boxed. He misses his shot, but then immediately double boxes, and then immediately double boxes. Notice always double boxing, creating a ton of space, which is excellent to do with charges. It's really the holy grail of charge meta. It allows you to safely take peeks because you can get a wide variety of angles. It's even good with tacks, but it's just so much better with the charge because you have to play your angles so much better. Apologize guys, we're an ad. Beautiful job. Gets that back wall. Nice piece control to end that fight. If the 27 cracked another little flopper. Nice 30. He thought you hear him gasp there because he couldn't build. He's going to bounce her again. Gets a high wall. Nice cone attempt. Beautiful. Gets him there. At least gets the high ground. Nice changes. This is really kind of scuffed. The player he's fighting isn't too bad. Beautiful. Nice little peanut butter peek.
Okay, buddy.
But again, kind of rarity, right? So taking that purple tack. Let's just take a look at that particular shot because it was very, very nice. But with him having no heals, he's taking that chance, right? He's got to keep that pressure on. He doesn't have any heals to pop. So when he cracks his opponent, he pretty much just goes all in. Decides not to drop down there. So right here, beautiful. Notice how it's like the delayed peanut. I know that's at slow speed, but make sure when he makes that peanut butter, a lot of times what a lot of players will do will make that peanut butter and they won't be either that tight to the wall. they'll make it kind of far away to where you still get shot. But if you saw right there, I mean, if you just go just a tad bit back right here, notice how he has no LOS, right? No line of sight, because Tayson is literally hugging this. Like, this is a right hand peek one. He hugs it and then he jumps. And what does the opponent do? He shoots the wall because Tayson hugs it so beautifully well, and Tayson ends up taking any damage, and he doesn't have heals, and he ends that fight fast, which is going to be huge for him. And then we're going to go and get to see the rest of the W King Fest.
X7. Okay, buddy.
It gets a purple tack, showing preference. Again, I believe rarity. It's what most pros prefer. Charge rarity. Nice little crack. Good attempt at piece control. Attacks are so good for these box fighting situations. Good movement. That guy's kind of lost in the sauce. Notice that immediately duck as soon as the opponent edits on him. And this is what attacks are so good for. Kind of scuffs that piece control. And then beautiful. This is really good. Another gets almost a full box. Sorry guys, there was an ad, but that's not something I'm seeing Tayson do. Beautiful piece control. The guy's lost like a flopper. This is something that we're talking about that I've only seen him do. This is very, very interesting. He did it before in Salty Towers. Let's watch this beautiful pre-box, but you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about here. Is this getting up so close, kind of baiting an edit when he has that such significant health advantage. So he goes for a cone here. Beautiful piece control. Gets the cone first to prevent his opponent, keeping him on the same layer, right? And then gets the full box. Cracks. His opponent did have that sidewall, edits out, but this is what I'm talking about. Notice how he's basically waiting for his opponent to duck in on him, and he's holding out his blueprints to either place a ramp, I believe what it is what he's trying to place. The opponent ends up not editing up. The opponent ends up running away, and he ends up getting this piece control. But that's the second time I've seen that. This is the first time in any VOD review I've seen that as a continual strat. It seems to be very, very hard to predict or counter. It's kind of like when you're in the same box back in season, I believe 2, when Martos do this, if you're breaking someone's ramp and then you place your own ramp over the back of your head and place y'all both under the ramp, creating an instant 50-50. I believe Tayson is only doing this in situations where he's at significant health advantage, which makes sense because, again, he has a purple tack. He can afford to do that. He's not going to more than likely get one pump. So really good, interesting strat from Tayson right here that you can maybe implement into your gameplay for W King. Notice not to jump down there. Look, really smart right there, right? What ends up happening a lot of the times, if you open up that cone, you can end up getting absolutely horked, and this is a beautiful... You're going to hear him...
Play the piece control map, though.
That's why you play the piece control map, though, is what he says. Just look at this. This is very common. Someone who does this edit insanely well is Miro. Miro does this edit constantly, and it's really impressive on controller. At least in my opinion, as somebody who plays on controller, this edit's really hard to control. The amount of control you have to have. Mouse and keyboard is not as difficult. It's just easier with mouse movement to be more precise. But he cone slides immediately, gets a right hand peek. This opponent, I mean, cracks him for 23. That's it, and it's easy GGs. But good example of piece control. Really good peek. Really, really good. And yes, Tayson, that is why you play the piece control map. He sees this opponent right here playing like a little flopper, trying to poo moon. Kind of playing with his food a little bit. We're at 12 kills. Just outside of Coral. Double swing, doesn't get it. Cones himself and immediately moves to a right-hand peek. Good, this is what you want to do if you don't get it. Oh, guy made a good edit. Gets a nice return crack.
What?
Hits it for 84. This guy's making some really good chip damage shots. Back towards. The guy played that pretty well. Let's just take a look at why Tayson got cracked so hard. Guy made so... This was probably Tayson's worst fight, right? There's still... Pros can still make mistakes and can still take unnecessary damage in fights. Right? So doesn't like that. I don't like him jumping down that ramp. That's good. Now, this opponent predicted... Now, Tayson is too far to hit this wall anyways, so he completely whiffs the wall. And the opponent already predicted if he was a little bit closer, he could maybe pickaxe baited right there, right? So good play. That's actually a really good crack by that opponent. He goes for it right here. Good crosshair placement right there. Gets very, very good chip damage. So now it's he's still back into favor now with 92. Love the shotgun through. So, okay, so here, so that's another thing was not using the clicks peak on this. He stays vertical and does not crouch, which really maximizes the clicks peak. So notice right here, he should be crouching and then accelerating through because it makes him really difficult to hit. But notice how he's still exposed in this window. So oh, I don't know if it was maybe server lag or they just traded almost instantly. I mean, he hits his opponent still a bit harder, but if he crouches, and that's sometimes the problem with that as well, making that edit with one, almost predicted that edit right there, sprays through, and then I like the decision to smudge, so where he recovers very, very well is he plays back here. Now there's no reason he's continuing this pressure with chug splashes to not pop 2 chug splashes before taking this type of peek. And he does the same thing, only hits him for 8 because his opponent's extremely weak. But really good stuff, good recovery, but by far the worst engagement we've seen thus far. So we get him in this other engagement. Sprays through, good read, he's got him full boxed. I love this decision. Immediately moves to a right hand peek, full boxed. Right hand peek, excellent. This is just excellent. This is probably the best going to be from this VOD review. Let's just take a look at this. It's really, really, really good. All of it's very, very, very good. You're going to see him. All right, so we now watch him start of this. He doesn't make any rash decisions. He waits. I'm going to full box. He catches his opponent. He cones. Now, immediately, you should always expect this opponent to do is going to flip this ramp on you. Because he is full boxed, it is already a 50-50. But if you're worried about piece control, this is what can happen sometimes. This is what a good player can kind of do in that situation, and recognize that, okay, I'm full box, I have to flip this ramp and basically get some chip damage to either get this opponent off me or just end the fight fast. Now the opponent doesn't do anything with it, and then Tayson holds here. He goes for a very open edit, kind of a 50-50, whiffs his shot but returns it. He did play it to the left as well, at least it was a right hand peek. Now he does the smart thing, right? Goes to the side and look at this angle. This is ducks back too. Gets him this opponent has nowhere to go, right? This is his only free opportunity for space. So he cracks, he gets the front wall, edits through, and the opponent ends up actually scuffing himself. He had a chance to get out, but the cone, and then look at this right hand peek, crouching as well. Opponent tries to shockwave away. He's full boxed. He actually ends up getting the cone. And that's what he just really played that incredibly smart, used his angles, played his piece control. Very good stuff. Move on to this next engagement. Not double swinging right there on the wall. Notice immediately gets out of that situation, goes to a right hand peek because he could have gotten full box. He owned nothing in there. You see very excellent aim right there as well. 4 cracks on those 2 specific players. Now just making sure he doesn't get someone hiding in their cone. Immediate cone slide. This is a very awkward angle. There you go. He fixed it right there. Now he's playing at a more right-hand peek with a little bit more protection. Gets it right there. And the guy is just basically getting out-pinged. And he just jumps in after getting very slow, methodical right there. Knows opponent is somehow in the bush. Pretty much full boxes him. Pre-fires. Opponent has no idea he has the back wall. He's just taking shield. Just a very bad player. Obviously bush camping. A player that either logged out or a controller died or whatever, but gets a nice free elimination there as well. Using the shotgun to break through. I love this. That layer is so scuffed, so he gets up to a layer where you can at least have flat build pieces. He's getting sniped at the entire time. Nice cone slide. This is a little bit of a 50-50. This... Oh no, he does a good job of extending right there. He gets his heels off. 67 cracked. Notice how he's playing a little bit more cautious. Cracked. Beautiful. Places that, again, a ramp would make that fight go longer. Sorry guys, there was an ad. He sprays through, gets his opponent 121 cracks. He was on his own ramp. X8s. Cracks. Opens up. GG's. Not much to say right there. Now this opponent's kind of scuffed into a bunch of old builds that aren't his. And so he gets a ton, really good job of using the Scar right there, realizing he's at a better range for that than with attack. Full piece controls. Gets very, very fortunate. Opponent phases his own ramp. 35 pre-fight damage, so he's at health advantage. Good. Another good part about solos. Does a double swing right there, right? Ooh, good, interesting peek. Full piece. That was really good to get to that outside and not take that underneath, realizing he had that wall. He bounces up. The guy is cranking. Gets that cone off. Gets it. Cone slides. G's.
Why are you building?
He goes, why are you building? When you get players like that, it's really good to use your bouncers if you have them that are just absolutely cranking. Good back wall piece control.
Oh no, my aim.
Bad aim of the opponent is just very, very bad, not doing anything. Psycho's in, and now this is a 1v1 situation. Good angle, the opponent's white, and then cracks GG's, 24 killed, 24 bomb. Good stuff from Tayson. The biggest takeaway from Tayson's gameplay was his understanding of angles and how to dominate with both shotguns, showing an adept knowledge early on with the charge when he had that green charge inside of Salty Towers, using the double box method, allowing one opponent to jump down, full piece control, and easily end fights. He used piece control throughout, but then when he switched to the attack, the angles never changed, the piece control never changed, but the main difference between the charge and the attack is excellent for pressuring opponents' walls and avoiding double swing. You saw a lot of shotgun shots fired at walls, which then allowed him to either one pickaxe swing it or just immediately take it. Him establish piece control. You saw, again, even great angles when he had that purple tack, especially that fight with Coral Castle on the white superhero skin. You saw him full box the opponent, but was not even satisfied with that. He moved over to a right-hand peek, and then once the opponent moved out, he moved back left to once again what? Create a right-hand peek, playing his angles the entire time. I believe the entire VOD review, there was only maybe 3 to 4 kills that weren't shotgun oriented, and I believe one was standing still with a Scar. His shotgun meta use is absolutely dominant. It's incredible, and that is why he is considered right now to be the best player in the world with his back-to-back FNCS championship performances. Tayson is an absolute animal, and you saw the technicality throughout. If there was one thing to take away from this VOD review, is the angles and dominant use of shotguns throughout all of his kills. Well, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. And I hope I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.